All right, ladies and gentlemen, good Tuesday morning. Welcome aboard our day two of our free full throttle live trading and training. Hey, Drea. Everybody say hello to Andrea. Good to see you. Day two, I'm really excited. And if I didn't have you all to talk to, I'd be done for the day. Why? How many of you made 500 bucks, 40% profit in 7 minutes? So this is our member area in the hunters. I sent out a trade alert 18 minutes ago, and I closed that trade 7 minutes later. Let's go take a look at the S&P 500. This ain't hard. This ain't rocket surgery. If you know what to look at, you print money. So we gapped down at the open, right? And we bounced right up to a 25. So I bought 7150 call, got right up to there, and I closed it. That was 7 minutes, 500 bucks. Did that take a lot of skill? Did that take a lot of brains? Nope. And like I said yesterday, when you sign up for Options Weapons School or Full Throttle, you get the training on how to shoot what I call these sniper shots, right? You get the training on how to shoot S&P 500 sniper shots. The S&P, as you can see, moves from a 25 to a 25. That's a 25 to a 50. Gap down just about to a 25 and went up to it. So again, folks, you know, if I would have done that and gone to the beach the rest of the day. Why? Because 500 bucks times 252 trading days is 126 grand. That ain't hard. That's actually pretty easy to do. Unlimited risk. I think that call was about 800 bucks, 1,000 bucks. Boom. Okay. So shameless plug. That's why you need to join Top Gun Options. As of me starting this morning, there are 14 full throttle memberships left. So let me give you the link to join. It's either $295 a month or $29.95 for the year. Or if you want to kick the tires, let me scroll down and just show you all those different choices right there. So 500 bucks, man. I just gave you essentially what, a month and a half for free with one trade, or I paid for a full month of the hunters with one trade. All right, before we get airborne and talk about what we're going to talk about today, a bullish on America trade, does anybody have any questions from what we covered yesterday? Did you take some time to read that psychedelic sector investment report? Did everybody get their copy of that? This sector is exploding. You do not want to not be in this sector. So I gave this a couple times. It's on the opt-in page and all sorts of other places. This is the report you need right now for the psychedelic sector. These are the names you need to buy with both hands. Okay. So anybody need this? Everybody got it? I can upload it again real quick in case you need it. Let me do that just to be nice. Let's go biotech. All right, so in the chat box right there is this report. You can download it and print it out to whatever you want to do. And this is a sweet piece of gear. Towards the end of today's brief, we're going to talk about this report, which is just as sweet a piece of gear about the AI sector. The most up-to-date news. We're going to talk about this, OpenAI, the lawsuit that just got started yesterday. A lot of stuff going on in the AI sector. OpenAI missed revenue and user targets. Did you see that? So we're going to talk about that all in a little bit, and I'll give you that report towards the end. I want to stay focused on our mission for today. All right, before we get airborne, again, any other questions about what we're doing yesterday or anything like that? I covered yesterday. What do you need to trade successfully? You need training. You're going to get that training in Options Weapons School. You need a plan. I gave you the trade plan yesterday, and then you need to practically apply all of that in a live trade brief, which you're in right now. Options Weapons School is where you need to start. 9 sessions. These 2 sessions right here, sessions 8 and 9, will get you up to speed with how I made 500 bucks in 7 minutes. It's not hard, folks. This ain't hard at all. A little bit of brain power and just paying attention to things, and you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. Okay. So, Options Weapons School is part of Full Throttle training. Okay. So there you go. There's the reminder, 295 to kick the tires, 497 if you want access to that investment club. Obviously, the best way to go is to get the 50% discount on the annual membership right there. So that's a tire kicker. That's a super tire kicker, and then that's somebody who's ready to go. I think most of the memberships that went yesterday were annual. Yeah, there's a couple monthlies. We're mainly annual memberships. Okay, anything else before I get airborne? We have a lot to cover, and again, I in these full throttle training sessions, I treat you like you're a current member, so you can see how we conduct our normal flight operations. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's throttle up and get airborne. Quick reminder. If you didn't attend yesterday, Wiz, I missed the psychedelic brief yesterday. Here it is right here. This is the replay page. So if you didn't watch yesterday's session, there it is right there. Okay. And then today's brief will be up there, and yesterday's brief will move down to here, right? So we'll stack the previous briefs on this page as well. Okay. And to make sure you are all subscribed to the YouTube page. I'm simulcasting right now. I do a lot of free content on this page. Obviously, all the member content's in here, but this is the Top Gun Options YouTube channel. So go click this right now, click subscribe. I do my Friday market wrap up, my Monday market outlook, and sit reps whenever I feel the need. All right, here we go. So as we talked about yesterday, well, SOT, if you're new, strategic, operational, tactical. About 5-10 minutes, we're going to do a strategic brief. We have to talk about what's going on around the globe. Then we're going to get operational. We got Amazon earnings tomorrow. We got a Fed nominee vote today, I think. So we're going to talk strategic, operational, and then we'll get tactical and we'll trade. We're going to look at a bullish on America trade. If you think the market's going to keep moving up and to the right, not in a straight line, but more or less up and to the right, for a small investment today, you can potentially make six figures years into the future. So I'm excited to show you that trade. But here's what's going on. I told my members last week, the clock is ticking. Ladies and gentlemen, Iran's running out of room. Iran is running out of places to store its oil. They don't have any room left. They're using old crappy tanks. They're using old rail cars to store all this oil. They can't move it. They might need to cut another 1.5 million barrels of oil production per day. Where was this oil going? It ain't going to us, folks. Love or hate Donald Trump, in his first term, we became a net exporter of oil. Do you not understand this? We don't. That's why Trump, weeks ago, I love it. He's like, you know what? Screw it. We're done. Oil, go get your own. Europe, go get your own oil from Iran, or come get it from us. We're done. It's China and all these other Asian countries, Japan, South Korea, who didn't support us in Operation Epic Fury, who are getting screwed right now. So it's pretty interesting, and they weren't in a good place anyway. They were already in an energy crisis. So very interesting to see what's going on. U.S. blockade pushes Iran toward extreme measures to keep getting oil. Folks, it's a big game of chicken right now. Iran, the mullah, whoever, if he's still alive, or the IRGC is gambling that they can outlast Trump's pain tolerance. The dude doesn't like losing. Even if he is losing, he'll claim victory, but you know what I'm getting at. In this game of chicken, I don't think you want to go against Trump. The guy's nuts. So if they don't start moving oil soon, and of course people are like, oh, they're using rail cars to get it to China. Have you seen enough? Again, people in this country rooting for Iran just is an absolute disgrace and disgusting. But the they're going to need to spike these wells. You can't. They're in a tough place. So we have this is days, folks. This is days, not weeks. And we talked about yesterday. The market is forward looking. We put on a bullish on America trade back here, man. That's already printing money, but the market is looking into the future. It's already done with Operation Epic Fury. I don't think it's over with. We're in the fourth quarter of this thing. But the market's done. We care about tech earnings. We care about Kevin Warsh getting, confirmed at the Fed. So if we get a surprise, we might have a nice little pullback here, back to this 20-day moving average. This is why we're hovering right now. We got this rip your face off relief rally and a hover. Markets don't hover forever, man. They need a decision point. Amazon misses tomorrow, or if the tech earnings this week are not insane enough, we're going to pull back. Or we get a deal with Iran and the tech earnings are good enough, we're going to keep ripping. I'm going to remind you that nobody in this room can trade off the left side of the chart. No, nobody can. So get rid of it. Because people are like, oh, wow, this rally's insane. Well, how about start there, right? This can keep going, right? There's a whizzism. The market can remain irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So stop looking at the left side of the chart. Care about the right side of the chart. And Trump already said it this morning. He's like, I'm not open to their latest proposal. It's called tank top, right? They have no more room. He claims that Iran informed us that they are in a state of collapse. As I said yesterday, and I'll remind you, Trump is lying and he's telling the truth. What? Iran is telling the truth. What? And they're lying. It depends on who you talk to. If you talk to the Iranian diplomats, they don't want to get killed and they want to live. If you talk to the generals and the radical Islamic terrorists, they want to fight to the end. Why? Because they're either going to die by Israel bombs or their own people. They need to stay in power. So the same thing with Trump. When he says he's being told they're in a state of collapse, it's the truth from the diplomats, and the general dudes are like, we're great. We don't care about our people. All we care about is us and living. So we're in this gray fog of, everybody's lying and everybody's telling the truth here. So they want to open the Strait of Hormuz. Of course they do. But we're in a weird place right now, folks. Up until Operation Epic Fury started, it wasn't a toll road, and Iran, now we've kind of forced it into, they want to make it a toll road and keep their nukes. So we have two incredible red lines right now, which if we don't get, we lost. Now I get it. We've put back their nuke program decades. They have no Navy anymore. The Air Force is gone. Their air defenses are gone. But if they keep the uranium and the plutonium in Fort Howe and Nance and all the other places, we lose. And if the strait turns into some sort of Suez or Panama Canal, this will be a massive loss. And as I said, Trump don't like to lose. So this ain't over, folks. This ain't over. We got a lot of potential serious stuff going on, and it's and obviously we're hearing all these reports from Democrats in the media that we're out of weapons, and it's really interesting that the same people that are wanking about us being out of weapons right now after a month and a half of Operation Epic Fury were the same people who were wanking that we need to give a shitload of weapons to Ukraine for the past 4 years. We're going on year five of a meat grinder. Oh, no more forever wars. There's a 4.5 year war in Ukraine, folks, that we've been funding and sending munitions to. Oh, we didn't send them Tom. How about HIMARS? How about all the LG? We have sent a shitload of weapons to Ukraine and cash. So stop with the I can't believe Trump's running us out of weapons. You didn't say a word under Mumbles McShitty Pants and Kamala. Talked about this yesterday. No peace plan, no problem. Why the wartime market keeps rising. I've already told you why it keeps rising. It's called TINA. There is no alternative. What are you going to do? Put your money in a mattress and in a Folgers can in the yard? It just there is no alternative. Equities are the place to be right now. Rip your face off, rally, and it's going to keep going until further notice. Why? Massive buybacks, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, the number one buyer of the S&P 500 is who? The S&P 500. If you're a CEO that gets paid a bonus based on how your stock performs, you go to your CFO and be like, "Hey, go buy back 100,000, a million of our own shares." So this is like a snake eating its tail here. But ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Authorizations of buybacks are 176% above 6 years ago. This is a historical execution rate. U.S. corporations are now on track to repurchase $1 trillion of their own stock. Do you understand how this works, man? They buy back their own shares, the stock price goes up. So the S&P 500 is going to keep ripping. I talked about this yesterday, but the Trump savings accounts, love or hate the guy, the Trump savings accounts will pump money into the S&P 500. It's math. Does that make sense? So we got Trump savings account, we got massive buybacks. There is no alternative for people to other than for people to be in equities. And don't forget, man, let's just open up let's go 2-year chart. What happened last year? It was this time last year, folks. Look at what is it, April 28th. Here's like April 28th last year. Does everybody remember this? Liberation Day tariffs. Hey, everybody's been screwing us, so I'm gonna tariff everybody. The market went ape shit. Compare that ape shit to that. We didn't go ape shit. Look at this. This is an orderly decline in the market and an orderly. This is a V. This was a lot of volatility over here. If you bought the bottom like we did, I told you yesterday, my beautiful bride's last birthday, April 27th, we did a bullish on America trade, and I closed it up here for like 15, 20 grand. We're going to cover one of those again in a couple minutes. So what am I getting at, folks? If you buy the dip in every one of these pullbacks, you will print money for the rest of your life. This sucked. Joe Biden, 25% bear market on the S&P 500. This was a bear market. The S&P from the beginning of 2022 to the October bottom was a 25% decline in the S&P 500. You guys remember that, right? 9.1% inflation. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But over time, again, if you had bought these dips, you still would have made money. You always buy the dips in the S&P 500. Now, I don't like it. What do you don't like? I don't like the fact that since 2008, ladies and gentlemen, let me just show you the chart. Let's look at the chart view of this century. Let's just even look at the century. Slides, where's that chart? Find it. Since the turn of the, isn't that weird to say? Since the turn of the century. Where's that chart? Oh, here it is. Sorry about that. Since the turn of the century, ladies and gentlemen, if you bought the S&P 500 in every dip, you're rich. Okay. But why does it just keep going up and to the right? Because George Bush and Paulson and Ben Bernanke, the Fed chief, failed right here. Here is the dot-com pop, right? Here's 2000. Here's me getting off active duty in the United States Navy, flying for the reserves, and then 9/11 happened. So here you go. We imploded. We recovered. Then Wiz was at ground zero during what's it called? The GFC. The global financial crisis, folks, happened in 2008. Do you remember that? AIG, Merrill Lynch, the thundering herd, right? Wall Street destroyed itself. Did you watch the movie The Big Short, right? Let's take really, really crappy loans and slice them up into the best of a really crappy loan and repurpose those and sell them. What? Whenever you get bored 28-year-old Goldman Sachs kids on coke who want to figure out ways to make more money, it's bad things are going to happen. But in 2008, Bush, Paulson, and the Fed chief did what? They jumped in to save capitalism. If you need to jump in to save capitalism, it's not capitalism. And the market, right here, you remember? Occupy Wall Street. They had a point. I had to sneak through the crowds in front of the Chicago Board of Trade of the protesters to go to work. They were right. Why are you bailing out Wall Street? Things need to be able to fail. I hate the game whiz, not the player. So what happened since then? Up and to the right. We have never looked back. Right? There's Joe Biden's bear market. There's the COVID scam demic. There's the tariff thing last year. I need to update this chart. This is old. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm a political science major from South Jersey. Do you understand that we're moving up and to the right? All right? Does everybody understand that? Up and to the right is how the S&P 500 moves. Okay? But with the, with the Trump accounts and all that type of stuff, man, money is just going to flow into here. So, all right, before we get tactical, let's see if I got to cover anything else. We'll talk about this tomorrow in our solo AI brief, man. This guy's an idiot. It's so funny how people, legendary investor, and if you make one good call, you're like a genius. Michael Burry's getting destroyed in his Nvidia position, shorting Nvidia. He's getting wiped out. So, blind squirrel can find a nut. Nvidia finally broke out of its range here, and he's getting wiped. It's was it 5 trillion right now? We're going to talk about this tomorrow. But yeah, he's getting wiped out. Anything else before I get tactical? We'll talk about all the AI stuff tomorrow. So let me give you that right now. Here's your homework. This guy gives homework? Yeah, I do, because it makes you money. This is our AI infrastructure supercycle report. This is the 10 names in our AI portfolio with my conviction, the 12-month stock target and the 24-month target. I just updated it this morning over a cup of coffee with the trial with OpenAI missing revenue and user targets. The Amazon investment, did you see this? 25 billion investment in Anthropic and 100 billion AWS, Amazon Web Services commitment. NVIDIA hitting 5 trillion. Everything is in this report. The names I'm targeting: Amazon, our highest conviction position. The price targets. I'm not going to go through this whole report, obviously, but this Broadcom, we are printing money in these names. So let me give you this report, and you can read this after the brief or tomorrow. Read it before tomorrow's brief so you're up to speed when we do our solo AI brief tomorrow. Where is it? Biotech sector. That's not it. Solo AI. Supercycle report. All right, there it is. I just uploaded it. And don't forget, I uploaded it in the member area here, right here. I sent out the wrong one. It's psychedelic, but I updated it. So it is posted in the member area if you are a current member. But we will cover this tomorrow. Again, folks, this is a $5,000 easily report from our hedge fund when I was up in Chicago. This is our institutional. I'm telling you, this type of report is reserved for private wealth clients with tens of millions of dollars, or this would be provided at about $5,000 to hedge funds, institutional ones. So read this and soak it up. Those are the 10 names in our AI portfolio. And how's that looking? Let's go look. Yeah, up about 50 grand year to date. Our Amazon position's looking pretty good. Since we put on this Amazon, I put on this Amazon position about a month ago, a month ago, it's up 84% or 8 grand. Synthetic stock at the 210 strike. And we're up here at 260 or 258 or whatever we're at. Nvidia positions up 45%, 2 grand. Broadcom we put on a week ago or two, 22%, 2 grand. Looking really, really good here. All right. Here's what I want to do now. Let's get tactical, right? SOT, strategic, operational, tactical. What I want to do is go back to the S&P 500, right? I trade SPX. SPX is the actual S&P 500 index, right? Do not trade SPY. SPX settles in cash, right? SPX settles in cash. You want to be in SPX. But here's what I want to do. I want to fly in my time machine, travel all the way out as far as we can into the future. December, this is how far into the future you can go on the S&P 500. December of 2031, essentially 5 years-ish into the future. Okay. And I'm going to click all. Right now we're at 7,000 on the S&P 500. Do you think, there's my current position down here. Do you think in the next 5 years, the S&P 500 can double? I mean, the answer is yes. I think it's going to more than double, but do you think it at least has the capability to double the S&P 500 in the next 5 years? Trump's got 2.5 years left, folks. When, not if, the Democrats take back the House, they're going to impeach him. It's going to be a shit show. It's going to be ugly. There will be ugliness for the last 2 years of his presidency. It's just going to happen, folks. Buckle up. They're going to impeach Pete Hegseth. They're going to, call back Kristi Noem. It's going to be awful. So, I personally think I think I'm a Marco Rubio guy now, but JD Vance or Rubio versus Kamala or Gavin Newsom, I think they're going to win it. The Republicans keep it, and I think the market keeps going. Even if a Democrat wins, folks, the market figures it out. Unless you're Joe Biden and you have a 25% bear market because of insane spending and raging inflation. All right, here we go. So, let's go ahead and Wiz, we're at 7,000 on the S&P 500. You showed me a chart yesterday. I did, and let me show the people who weren't there, of you starting investing in 1991. I did. That's how old I am. 1991 to today. Dot-com boom, global financial crisis, but even a political science major from New Jersey can see the trend. It ain't a straight line, but you see the trend. Between now and 2031, folks, there will be a bear market. There will be fill in the blank. Let me red team real quick. What are some things that are going to happen between now and 2031? China will move on Taiwan. It's either going to be a naval blockade because they're watching us do that in Iran right now. China's just going to go, you know what? We're not going to Saving Private Ryan storm the beaches of Taiwan. We're just going to circle the island with our boats and our airplanes and squeeze it, and we're going to take Taiwan back. The market ain't going to like that. I guarantee you that happens. Anybody want to bet against me? I guarantee you. How do you know that, Wiz? The dude dressed up in his Mao outfit, his green whatever, like 5 years ago, and gave a speech to his PLA, People's Liberation Army generals, and said, you will be ready to invade Taiwan by 2027. The dude doesn't talk like that and then not do it. Right? So, what else? I don't know, a scandemic, a plandemic, a dirty nuke, fill in the blank, raging inflation. We're trillions of dollars in debt and we're never going to pay it off. So there are potential threats to us moving up and to the right. But here's the counter to all those. Everybody knows the game, Wiz. Jamie Dimon in the Hamptons We all need it to move up and to the right. So just like they bailed out capitalism in 2008, buddy, the Fed, everybody gets a trophy. Remember, it was called quantitative easing. Why didn't they just call it printing money out of thin air? Well, because people would get pissed at that. We called it QE. We called it Operation Twist. We called it whatever else their names were. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Fed chief, remember Jerome Powell on 60 Minutes? He's like, well, I make money out of thin air. I hit enter on my laptop and money appears, or we print it out of thin air and we send it to Federal Reserve banks. Wouldn't it be great if you could do that? Can I use my HP printer just to print money out of thin air? Hey, Jerome, if you can print money out of thin air, can I owe taxes this year? Can you print me up some? So there are threats to this, folks. I'm not sitting here, whistling Dixie that everything's fantastic. But as your flight instructor, I'm here to brief you on potential threats too. So here we go. Let's go with the up and to the right. Right? The people in the Hamptons, the New York crowd, the DC crowd, they need markets to move up and to the right. Not too many people are as smart as you. What do I mean by that? I can print money. Matter of fact, I make more money when markets go down, folks. When there's blood in the streets, we love it here at Top Gun Options. Now, I don't like people's 401ks turning into 101ks and retail folks getting steamrolled. But if, like Gordon Gekko said in the movie Wall Street, if you want a friend, get a dog. I'll treat you like cordwood. Your liquidity. I love markets imploding. We do bearish double verticals. We trudge, but that's when that happens. But most people need the market to go up to the right. So here we go. You ready? We're at 7,000. 7130. We're at all-time record highs, folks. I mean, this is just insane. 14,000. Right? You could go out into the future and buy a 14,000 call option on the S&P 500. Holy crap, Wiz, it's 10 grand. Well, why is divorce expensive? Well, it's worth it. Why don't we sell an upside call against it? So why don't we sell the highest strike call we can find, a 16,000 against it? Now, for people who were in the original Bullish on America trade a month ago, please tell me what you got filled at. It was like, what was it? 2 grand? This trade has already made 2,300 bucks in the past couple weeks. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Who got the Bullish on it? 2,500. Thank you, Bob. So, folks, let me just remind you, if you were a TGO member when we did this trade weeks ago, SPX, thank you, because I didn't want to have to go look at the replay. I'll give you the replay of that brief so you can, men lie, trades don't. Go watch it yourself. Right here, we put on a bullet, this exact trade, and it was 2,500 bucks. It cost us 2,500 bucks. And now with this, it's almost doubled. But let's go look at the metrics. I would do this trade today. All right. Today, you're risking, you would pay 4,300 bucks. That's the most you can lose. Wiz, between now and 2031, the world went to hell and the S&P imploded. All right, well, the most you can lose is 4,300 bucks. Now, let's go look at what you could potentially make. You ready? $196,000. If the S&P 500, if the S&P 500 kind of keeps doing what it's doing for the next couple years, does anybody in this room want to make 200 grand on $4,300 in risk? So there you go, Jeff. You're already up 51%. And I'm going to cover a couple different versions of this Bullish on America trade, so everybody just hang out. There you go, Tony. Yeah, Simon, I already said that. I sold my Bullish on America trade from a year ago for 20 grand. Folks, you don't have to hold on to this trade forever. Let's say by this time next year, the S&P is up to 10 grand. Look at this. If the S&P next year is up to 10,000, you could get out for a $40,000 profit. You don't have to hold this all the way into the future to see profit. I just said my bullish on America trade from last. I have a couple bullish on America trades. The one that I closed it after 8 or 9 months, and it was up 20 grand. I'm like, I'll take it, and it was right before Operation Epic Fury. So God takes care of fools, drunks, and sailors. All right. So look at Bruce. The one I did back in June was up 178%. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a no effing brainer. Technically, right now, we're in accelerated retirement brief. How many of you would take 4,300 bucks of your retirement account to potentially make $200,000? This is a no effing brainer. Let me grab a screenshot of this to put it on the replay page. All right, I'll grab a screenshot, but I'm going to cover a couple different ones because I have bullish on America trades all over the place. I have different strikes and all sorts of stuff. You could go out a year from now and do a trade like this. All right, I got a screenshot of that. Let me grab a screenshot of this. Let's do, I'll show you another one here in a second. Different one. Isn't this awesome? For all the people who are like, man, I've never traded options. Mike bought March 27, the 10,000, 11,000 strike, up 135%. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the trade. This is a Warren Buffett trade. This is why, I jokingly, it's not a joke, I call it a bullish on America trade. This is what this is what hedge funds do. This is what smart people do. We all know it's bullshit. We all know we're however many trillions in debt, 30, 40, it doesn't even matter at this point. We know inflation's sticky. We know AI is going to not only wipe out just about every job, but kill us ultimately. We all smile, but it moves up and to the right. This is free money. Do you not understand what we're talking about here? Brent still has his from last year. Everybody look at Brent. Brent did the bullish on America trade at the tariff bottom last year. We bought the tariff bottom last year, and look at Brent. Entered the 11, 12,000. He's up 438%. Wow. All right. So in this portfolio, I actually have a 15, 16,000 because I think we're going to be more than double. Right? So, David, that's exactly what I'm telling you. You could make $195,000 if you invested 4,300 bucks today, and it keeps going up and to the right. I did the 15, 16 in this one portfolio because I think we're going to be more than double. This one, ladies and gentlemen, if you buy the 15,000 call and sell the 16, look at the metrics of this one. You're risking 1,200 bucks today to make 99, allow me to round up, to make 100 grand. How many of you would invest 1,200 bucks today to potentially make 100 grand? If you say no, do me a favor and click the X in the top right of your of the Zoom and leave because you have no idea what you're doing. Does everybody understand this? Exactly. Yeah, you can do, folks, you can do all this stuff. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, and Mike nailed it before me. William asking about it, but folks, I do the 500. So ladies and gentlemen, before you logged in, or if you're a current member, you got that trade. What did I make this morning in 7 minutes? I made 500 bucks this morning. So technically, I'm spending 700 bucks today to potentially make 100 grand. I do. So these trades are years into the future, and I trade the front month. What's the front month? You're in the front month, April, May. I trade S&P 500 sniper shots, and these are paid for. So I have a couple ships deployed. I got long-term bullish in the future ships deployed, and I already paid for this trade more or less. Does everybody understand this trade? Read what Mike wrote. Take your gains from Wiz's sniper shots. And on market pullbacks, put these on. There's your investment plan in one sentence. I absolutely love that. right? John, would buying the SPX stock be a good as well? Absolutely not. Do not buy another stock in your life ever. What's the point in buying a stock? I like dividends. Okay. I can show you three other tactics that can show you how. So no, do not buy the S&P 500. Buy the options, man. Does everybody understand this? So this trade is awesome. For about $1,000 today, you can potentially make 100. This ain't bullshit. This is my one of my brokerage accounts. I have like yeah, four different brokerage accounts. I have Bullish on America trades sprinkled throughout my brokerage accounts. I think where's the other one we put on? Oh, it's on this other computer. I got accounts all over the place. But ladies and gentlemen, any questions on this? This is why I love this moment in full throttle training because I guarantee you there are some of you sitting there like, what's the draw? What's going on? I don't get ain't nothing going on, man. It's ignorance. If you don't know this stuff, it's on you. That's why you're here at Top Gun Options. 1,000. It's Wimpy from. Is that his name? Wimpy Popeye. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. I'd gladly spend $1,100 to make 100 grand. So let me start over with, and I know some of my lifetime members have done this. Let's do the 14,000, 16,000. Okay, the original one we were talking about. It's 4 grand. Wiz, this is my retirement account. I'll risk 25. I got $100,000 retirement account. I'm gonna risk $25,000 on this trade. Let's look at that. That would be 6 contracts. Stay with me here. If you did 6 contracts today of this trade, you're risking, let's just round up, $25,000. How much could you potentially make if everything I say is true? The market does move in a straight line. We're going to have some pullbacks, but it goes up and to the right. If that happens, how much could you potentially make if you risked 25 grand today? You ready? 3, 2, 1. 1.2 fucking million dollars. I'm going to sit here in silence for a little bit and I want this to sink in. Some people have like, I have a Roth IRA, I have like 25 grand in it. I'm retiring in 10 years. Do this now. How many of you would risk $25,000? Folks, this is literally, we're in accelerated retirement. This is your retirement. One more time, I'm going to remind you, you don't have to wait until December of 2031 to get out of this trade. What if by next year, you see over here in this little drawing, Wiz, what if in a couple years, the S&P is up at 12 grand? You're up $364,000. Close it. I leapfrogged some of these Bullish on America trades. I don't leave them on. Sometimes I take them on. I have a couple that are sitting there that are out to 2029 that are printing money. Derek. Everybody look at what Derek just wrote. I wish I had bought 20 contracts of April last year. I want that to sink in. This is step 3 of my trade plan, folks, commit criteria. If your commit criteria, why am I committing capital to this trade, is strong, why wouldn't you do it? Right? Hell, let's just, for shits and giggles, look at 50 grand. Wiz, I have, $400,000 in my retirement account. Well, how about let's risk $50,000. That's about 13. I don't like the number 30. Let's go with 12. That's 12 contracts. 12 contracts. What could you potentially make if you invested 50 grand into this trade? $2.4 million. I do not trade the Qs. let's do this one and start doing some stuff. The 15, 16. If you did more than, let's do 5 grand in risk in the 15,000, 16,000. How many of you would risk 6 grand today to make 490? Let's just go 6 and 5. How much? How many of you would risk 6 grand today to make a half a million? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to keep chewing the clock up here, but you can sit here and play with this. The average return of the S&P 500 for the past 25 years, the average return of the S&P 500 in this century is 17 to 18%. The average, meaning there's been great years and horrible, average, up and to the right. It's moving up and to the right. I'm not going to repeat all the threats. I already scared you with some of the threats. If they happen, we'll deal with it. But folks, no trade is without risk, right? So, this is up and to the right. If you wanted to risk 6 grand today, you could potentially make a $500,000. What a beautiful retirement trade. Welcome to Top Gun Options, but welcome to accelerated retirement. How do you accelerate your retirement? You invest a little bit today in the S&P 500 options to potentially print money years into the future, or not even years, next year. I already told you the one from the tariff bottom I got out of for like 20 grand in 9 months. That was one contract, folks, by the way. One contract. Okay. Pay to, okay. Simon, I have no idea. I would have to see it. And don't forget these, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the price of the underlying SPX is one thing that goes into the price of an option. There are so many other things that go into the price of an option. Theta and all sorts of stuff. There's 7, 8 things that go into the price of an option. But look at when we started doing this, there was almost no activity in these names. This is a lot of TGO members in here, man. What time is it? All right. I want to keep us on track here. Any questions on this? But you could walk this in a little bit. Wiz, I want to do a 1 year out bullish on Merica trade. Do that, I don't know, come into a front month here type of thing. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but I just tend, when I'm getting bullish on something, unless it's a date, right? Like some of my psychedelic names, like Compass. I have a Jan 27 Compass thing on because I think, especially after what happened in the past week, they're going to submit their new drug app Q3, Q4 this year, and the FDA is going to approve it Q1. So I have a January 27 trade on, but I also have a Jan 28 to give it even more time to run, right? So you can attack in parallel with SPX. I have bullish on Merica trades into the future, and I trade the front day like we did this morning for $500. You can have a middle trade on. I'm not doing middle trade, meaning a year or two out. Why am I not doing that? Because we might be in a recession right now. I'm pretty freaked out about AI destroying jobs, white collar jobs. Inflation's sticky. The next year might have some challenges, man. So I'm trading SPX today and I'm trading it years into the future. The middle's a little chopped for me right now. Especially, can you imagine Speaker of the House Hakeem Jeffries? We're impeaching him again. The Senate didn't convict him. Well, now we're going to impeach him for something else. The last 2 years of Trump's presidency are going to be a shit show. So, anyway, man, there's a ton of stuff going on here. Rut is cash settled. William, I trade the S&P 500, man. I've traded the Qs before and the Rut every once in a while. I stick with what I know, right? The Rut is a lot more, the Russell 2000 is a lot more, it's a broader look at obviously 2,000 names as opposed to 500, but I like the Death Star. I like the names in the S&P 500, right? We got the Magnificent Seven. The Trump savings account, folks, is buying the S&P 500. It ain't buying the rut and it's not buying the Qs. For whoever asked about the Qs earlier, if there's an AI bubble burst, the Qs will be destroyed and it'll make the dot-com boom look pleasant. Okay? I'm still not convinced. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. I don't want to steal my AI thunder for tomorrow. We're not out of the AI woods, folks. Matter of fact, it's going to get uglier. Um, Man, this is why we limit TGO membership. There's like 8 trillion questions going on here. All right, let me push back here and ask any questions on the initial trades that I covered, the bullish on Merica trades. Okay. Yep. Next stop, 7,100. Good call. This is that chop up here we're talking about. But let me show you. I got to blast these trades out to my current members. Even though everybody probably has these, I just did these for new potential full throttle people. New bullish Merica trade to D's. It was 31, right? D's 31. I at everyone so everybody gets the alert. Then I go grab the screenshot of the trades. Whoops, click to upload. Wrong. Nope. Image. Click to upload. Screenshots. Bullish on American trade right there. Bullish on American trade right there. All right, so there it is. There's the 2 screenshots. So this is how we do it here at TGO. So everybody in the hunters and my lifetime members, boom. What was that? About a second and a half. Just got the alert on my app. You click on it on your phone. There's the screenshot of the trade. There's the risk. Boom. So you can be in death by meeting and your phone's going to buzz. I have everything on here, man. Obviously, all our member stuff, but I got E-Trade on here. I've been trading and sending out alerts on the chairlift in Aspen to sitting at the hold short in my fighter jet with Eric Trump. This is awesome. This is a sweet piece of gear. The old days, it was like an email alert. Then 2014, 2015, we had text alerts. That seems so old, right? Now we have apps, and it's near instantaneous alert on that trade. Any questions on that? There's the drinking money call I bought this morning, and I closed 7 minutes later for a 40% profit. So technically, I paid for a nice portion of this bullish on America trade. These can be paid off. Isn't that incredible? If you're sitting here today going, "With for $4,300 today, man, I just made $500 in 7 minutes." I'm not if I wasn't on this ramble right now, I probably would have shot a bear call spread and made 1,000 to $1,500 as the S&P 500 rolled over. I guarantee you that's ballsy. No, it isn't. I guarantee you I'd pay the $4,300 of this trade off with front month S&P 500 trades. I could probably do that in a day or a couple days. Man, there was a couple weeks ago where it was like 8 to 10 grand in S&P 500 profit in a week when we were zipping around. It was shooting fish in a barrel. But even if you don't want to trade these S&P 500 sniper shots in the front month, would you pay $4,300 today to make 200 grand? Yes. Or I can't speak for you. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, love them or hate them, the Trump administration just changed what? The pattern day trading rules. Could you, I don't want to rant too hard here, so I'm going to take a deep breath. A government that's $40 trillion in debt, who was giving millions to quality leering centers run by Somalis in Minnesota, was telling you what you could or couldn't do with your money. Hey, you made 3-day trades and you need at least 25 grand in your account, so now you're in the penalty box. How effing dare you tell me what I can do with my money? Thank you, President Trump and your SEC. 2 weeks ago, they removed the pattern day trading rule. So you can have it used to need 25 grand to be able to do the sniper shots. That's over with. You can have 5 grand, you can have 10 grand in your account, and you can do these sniper shots. Does everybody understand that? Okay. So I saw on the news, though, that the FBI and a bunch of people swooped into those places today. Thank you. I can't get a dime from the federal government to the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. I applied to the Staff Sergeant Gordon Fox suicide grant. $51 million dollars given out to nonprofits to help prevent suicide. Were any of them doing psychedelics where we know we saved hundreds of life? No, no. We gave it to organizations that haven't lowered the suicide numbers at all, Wiz. Oh, that's great. That's great. Maybe it's the No Fallen Heroes Leering Center, and I can get millions, and then we can start healing our heroes. Anyway, we need to move on. Any questions on the bullish on America trade? I love these trades. And I love the fact when some people who are obviously new going, wait, what's the catch with like these things? Ain't no catch, baby. This is what's in this portfolio. This is my current one in this portfolio. This is the 15,000, 16,000, risking 1,800 bucks to make 98 grand, folks. I love this. Any other questions, concerns? Oh, by the ways. Let's go look because I know people, I want to stay on time here. I don't want to go super long. These things, full throttle's taking a lot out of me, man. I love just our normal group of folks. When we have a shitload of free people in here, it gets into a little zooish. You buy Raytheon today with both hands. Sell the wife and kids, mortgage the house, buy it. RTX. It is at, and we're gonna have a pop back up here to the 200-day moving average. Here's the chop, right? 175 support resistance. Oh my God, Epic Fury is great. Oh no, peace might break out. God forbid, folks. Let me tell you why I am. You have to be long-term bullish on Raytheon. It's math. Does anybody remember what happened last week during their earnings? We beat and we raised our guidance. It's called buy the rumor, sell the news. This ain't hard, folks. This has been do you not remember 4 or 5 months ago, we were at 175 and we topped out at 220? Man, this is profit taking. The President of the United States just submitted a $1.5 trillion defense budget, a 50% increase. Did you not hear me at the beginning of this brief say we're out of weapons? Have you not? If you're new, you haven't heard this, or maybe you have in one of my sit reps. Raytheon cannot fulfill the orders it has. It has a put option underneath it, folks. It's math. What's insane? Was how about I do not trade futures? No, thank you at all. I trade equity options, man. Zero futures. So Raytheon, buy it with both hands. And let me remind you, and I hate talking about this, but if you didn't have a conscience, if you bought Raytheon on October 8th, 2023, why are you picking that date? Because that's the day after Hamas invaded Israel and it never looked back. Okay? So you buy Raytheon. Okay? It's the Golden Dome, the Patriots. It's got, folks, I'm not going to ripple through all the reasons to buy Ray. Every time it's hit the 200-day moving average, folks, it's been a buy. Buy it. It's oversold down here, period. So I'm going to knock out what time is it? A quick synthetic stock. It's a screaming buy down here. Bill, I think that's going to change the buyback thing. So let's do Jan 20, or let me show you the chart. Let's go 5-year. Look at that. At its high, the stock was up 204%. That's the stock. We have, folks, this was from a month ago. Where's Let me just show you this real quick. That's profit with purpose. Where's the? Oh, it's down here. I hate the title of this slide, but it's the truth. Making money off war. Here are some a month ago. Bruce, 322%. David, up 800%, 430%, 900%, 417. Now, these might have come down a little bit. Oh, instead of being up 800%, I'm only up 700%. Are you going to wank about that? Are you insane? So buy Raytheon with both hands. You're a fool if you do not buy Raytheon. War is a racket. General Smedley Butler, even with this pullback, let's pull Raytheon down here. Whoop, hold on. 152% return if you bought it on the October bottom. So here we go. I'm going to rip. You should know how to do synthetic stock, right? We're going to buy, what are we at? 173. There is no 173 strike. We're going to buy a 170 call. We're going to sell a 170 put. That gives you synthetic stock. Man, I don't want to risk 18 grand. Neither do I. We buy what I call a disaster put, about 20% under that. What's that? 130? What's the disaster put? Somebody do the math real quick. Oops, sorry. Here you go. So buying the 170 call, selling the 170 put gives you synthetic stock. I bought a disaster put underneath it. 136. All right, there's a 135 strike. So you're risking 2,100 bucks, and your only max potential loss is 5,600 bucks. If you wanted to buy 100 shares of Raytheon today, what would it be? $17,000. Who wants to spend 17 grand today, folks? I don't. All right, my trade went away. Let me sell the put, buy the call. Would you rather spend 17,500 bucks or 1,100? Need to add the disaster put that, the 135 disaster put. Would you rather spend 17,500 bucks today or 2,100 bucks? I know what the answer is. And then we would sell a call against it out to Friday. Yeah, probably the 175. Yeah, this is the trade I would do right now on Raytheon. I'll grab a screenshot of this. I know I ripped through that, but folks, I'm assuming you are a current TGO member and you already watched your options weapons school training on synthetic stock, or you listened yesterday when I did the psychedelic synthetic stock. All right, so that's RTX. So I get it, folks. If you're kind of new, if you joined this during the last full throttle and you bought Raytheon up at 200, it's going to go up again, folks. This ain't, sadly, war is not. I'm doing my best, man, with psychedelics and healing our heroes to avoid war. It's not going to go away. We're on going into year whatever in Ukraine. I already told you, China's going to take back Taiwan. We're in it, man. Sadly, until we all wake up. New RTX. It's Jan 28, right? Send out a trade alert to your current members. All right, I'll add the images here. If you got into Raytheon and it's pulling back, what do I tell? You can do whatever you want. What would I do? You add to it. I mean, it's a no-brainer. We're underneath the 200-day moving average, and we're going to snap back to it. It is way oversold here. Any questions on Raytheon? It's Jan 28. This is a no-brainer, man. It's free. Raytheon is free on this pullback. What if I'm wrong? Peace breaks out. Then I don't mind losing the 5 grand if Raytheon goes to zero. It's not going to happen. You buy good names on a pullback. You buy names that have guaranteed revenue. Look at OpenAI. We'll talk about this tomorrow, but $1 trillion and they make 20 bucks a month from me. That math don't math. You know what maths? Raytheon. You buy a stock who said, you know what, we blew our earnings forecast out of the water and we're raising our guidance for the rest of the year. That's what you buy, folks. Do you understand this? This is investing 101. We're looking years into the future. Tactically, it's a buy the rumor, sell the news. I get it. I tell you this all the time. The psychedelic names, buy the rumor, sell the news, and then they're going to rip again. So, absolutely nothing wrong with Raytheon structurally. The maths. Any questions on Raytheon? I get it. If you joined, this time, no, it was all the way back here. If you bought Raytheon at 200 bucks, if you liked Raytheon at 200, you love it at 175. Do you understand this? So I told you yesterday, I'm going to remind you today, you should always have 25, 50% in cash. Never be fully invested. If you listen to me and you have 25 to 50% in cash, you would walk in right now and be like, oh my God, it's a gift down here. That's exactly what you'd say. I can get Raytheon on a discount. The stock was 212. Done. I already told you, I don't think we're done with Operation Epic Fury. We're not done with Iran, and things are going to get ugly. Okay. Benoit, Wiz, do you have any downside protection on your Amazon synthetic stock? Why would I have? I have automatic downside protection on my Amazon. All of my synthetic stock has downside protection. So, folks, Amazon for tomorrow. I already gave you the report. We have a solo AI brief, right? So today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ending Full Throttle. Full Throttle is the primary brief and the accelerated retirement brief that you're in right now. We're done with Full Throttle today. I'm going to do solo AI tomorrow. 2 separate services. So there were 3 buzzes during the brief. So what's that, 11? So there are 11. There are 11 Full Throttle memberships left. Okay? We only take 25 because I can't stand a zoo. No offense to the free people. I don't like it. It gives me agita. In a regular live trade brief, I'll sit here and go through each question as they come in. This, I can't. It's a zoo in there. So this is why we take a limited number of people each quarter to keep it nice and tight. Well, I'm not like Brand X, like unwashed masses, everybody come in, no. Nope. We're not for everybody. Let me be clear. But tomorrow we will cover solo AI, right? It's our entry level service. It's cheaper, 197 bucks. It's just one live trade brief though, folks, or it's 1997 for the year. I gave you your report. Everybody got that report. The infrastructure report, that's your homework. I want you to read that by tomorrow. It's worth it. I mean, it's cool to read because it's got everything in here. Did you see this stock? Did everybody get in GEV? I mean, we're going to talk about all these names tomorrow, but man, whew, the I mean, come on. GEV back, $600 stock to 1,200 bucks. You're welcome. We launched Solo AI right here. We launched Solo AI right here, folks. 666, that's creepy. 650, how about that? Ladies and gentlemen, if you got this report when I launched Solo AI 2.5 months ago, you double your money in GEV. Now it's pulling back a little bit. We can talk about that tomorrow. But folks, I love the Solo AI service, man. The names that are in here. Obviously, the Death Star, Amazon is my core holding in my position. I have a lotto ticket in here called NNE. But if you scroll to the end, this is kind of my, Amazon, NVIDIA, Broadcom, Constellation, Vistra, GE. We just talked about Palantir, Vert, CCJ, and NNE. We got some power. So you need all this stuff, folks. I've broken the AI sector up into the cloud, the power, the infrastructure, and the nukes, because there ain't enough. There ain't enough power on God's green earth to. What's going on here? All right. Any questions? There's your brief for tomorrow. I want you to read this stuff. And you know what? I wrote this, why this sell-off is an opportunity, right? All the way back here, folks. Where is it? Let's go back to SPX. This was a gift. Those names pulling back with Epic Fury was stupid. You should have bought all those names down here because we knew this wasn't going to last forever, right? So that pullback was an absolute gift, right? We'll see tomorrow if the market likes AI spending and CapEx or hates it like it did last time with Amazon. I'm excited. I'm really, this is going to be an interesting week. And I think some names are next week too. But this, folks, again, this thousands of dollars of institutional research, thesis, outlook, everything, man. Any questions on this? But again, Solo AI is a separate standalone service, 197 a month or 1997 a year. So, um, Barry, money market account, man. It's actually getting nice return in a money market account. Uh, uh, uh. There's the psychedelic report. Already gave you that. All right, 1111. Look at that, man. 1111. That's a God number, man. That is a holy sign. 11. Look at that. 11, 11, 11. 11 memberships left for Full Throttle. We're going to close Full Throttle today. And then tomorrow we're going to do Solo AI. Any other questions, concerns? Oh, by the ways, smart remarks, you can keep them to yourself. As soon as you join, ladies and gentlemen, go in the member area and start watching your options weapon school training. I mean, just, that's what you gotta do right here. Options weapon school. Session 1, session 2, session 3. Download your manuals right here where it says download now, and then start watching all the training. You will get up to speed quickly. I stole this from Navy flight training, man. Right? All right. Any other questions? I got to go, man. You're welcome, folks. Thanks for coming. Full Throttle done today. Solo Amazon, Solo AI tomorrow, and we're having fun, man. If you're not having fun investing and trading, you're doing it wrong. And don't trade solo. Join a squadron, man. If you want to sit there in your bunny slippers and your robe and stare at the laptop and watch CNBC, knock yourself out. You're going to be miserable. We have a great tight knit squadron here at Top Gun Options. What do we got? Like over 700 members, and we're a tight group. Obviously, the lifetime folks, there's 220 of them in there. That's the most elite here at Top Gun Options. We can talk about maybe joining lifetime down the road. So, all right, guys, I got to go. Have a great rest of your day. I'll get the replay posted here shortly. I'm going to go stretch my legs. I can't sit here for too long and folks, that's the other thing, man. I don't sit here and trade all day. I'd rather get my teeth drilled. I would have made $500 and 700 in 7 minutes this morning and gone to the gym and then gone to the beach. I can't stand this, to be honest with you, sitting here for too long. I'm going to go fly, live, go to yoga, meditate. I don't sit here all day and do this. You don't have to do that. You can learn how to trade and spend, I don't know, man. If there's some days I don't even look at the market, to be honest with you, especially if you got those longer term bullish names on Raytheon years into the future. My bullish on Merica trade whiz, I'll check on it in a month or two from now. Isn't that cool? So don't get too wrapped around the axle. If you're antsy, you're doing it wrong, and I'm going to try and help you fix that. All right, guys, I got to go. Have a great rest of your day. Fights on. Namaste. And basi, basi. Wiz out. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the last free brief this week. Cheers.